There's a certain moment in life when everything starts to feel too tight. Like the world has slowly built walls around your heart, and now there's no more room to stretch your soul. You begin to feel trapped, not by any one person, but by your own name, your own roles, your daily routines. As if you've been poured into a mold that no longer fits the shape of who you truly are. And then, somewhere in the silence of all that discomfort, a simple question begins to rise. Who am I, really, if I am not what the world sees? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna doesn't respond with just one answer. He doesn't say, I am only this. Instead, he says, among the radiant Adityas, I am Vishnu. Among lights, I am the sun. Among bodies of water, I am the ocean. He becomes everything, light and stillness, movement and silence, the deep strength of rivers and the quiet beauty of stars. By becoming all these forms, he shows us something more profound. He shows us how to go beyond form entirely. He becomes formless. Because anything truly powerful cannot be trapped inside a single shape. It moves through all shapes. It touches every form, yet remains untouched itself. Most of us, though, are taught to do the opposite. We spend our lives trying to become something others can easily understand. We carry titles, chase achievements, wear identities like uniforms. We want to be seen. We want to be accepted. But in doing that, we often forget something important. Every form we cling to becomes a boundary. It limits us. It separates us from something far larger than we imagined. Krishna shows us another path. A quieter one. A more spacious one. A way of being that doesn't shrink just to fit into one story, one identity, one expectation. Because when you stop holding tightly to who you think you're supposed to be, you finally make space to become who you already are. Not a label, not a title, not even a role, but a presence. Something that can sit quietly in one small room and still stretch out endlessly. Like ocean meeting sky. There's power in form, no doubt. But there's even greater freedom in going beyond it. A sword may carry strength. It's sharp, it's precise, but it always moves in one direction. A river, on the other hand, doesn't have edges like that. Yet over time, it can shape mountains. This is the kind of power Krishna reveals. Not the kind that dominates through force, but the kind that transforms through presence. Not the strength that needs to shout, but the kind that makes you pause and listen, simply by being still. When Krishna says, among bodies of water, I am the ocean, he isn't only pointing to size or vastness. He is pointing to depth. He is reminding us that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it waits. Sometimes, it holds. And sometimes, it simply flows beneath the surface, calm and unshaken. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to define ourselves. Pick a career. Choose a label. State your opinion. Prove your value. But the soul doesn't move like that. The soul doesn't follow straight lines. It opens like a flower. It flows like water. It expands beyond every definition you try to give it. That's why Krishna doesn't settle for being just one thing. He names the sun and the silence, the lion and the moon, the storm and the stillness. He stands between opposites, not this or that, but both and beyond. And maybe that's what we are being invited to do, to stop shrinking into small versions of ourselves just so others can understand us. To stop chasing clarity when what we really need is connection with something bigger, with something deeper, with something timeless inside us. Because some truths can't be explained in words. Some feelings can't be put in neat boxes. And some parts of who you are will never make sense to those who have only known the surface. But that doesn't make them less true. That doesn't make them less real. Sometimes, the only way to find yourself again is to let go of the version you've been trying so hard to become. You are not just your name. You are not just your job, or your thoughts, or your history. You are not the labels others gave you when they couldn't see your full light. You are the one who watches all those things rise and fall. You are the space they move through. You are the awareness that stays steady, even when everything else shifts. You are, as Krishna reminds us, the same energy that becomes wind and sun and water, not trapped in one shape, but made more alive by every shape it touches. So when the world tries to narrow you, when it tells you to fit into something too small, or too easy to explain, pause. Breathe. Remember, you are not the storm. You are the sky that holds it. You are not the noise. You are the silence beneath it. You are not the form. You are the presence that moves through all forms. And when you feel lost, or unsure, or weighed down by who you think you should be, return to what Krishna said. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. I am the light that lives in all beings. I am the soul within. He didn't say that to separate himself from us. He said it so we'd remember what's already living quietly inside us. You don't have to become more than you are. You only have to stop forgetting. Because the power was never in how clearly you could define yourself. It was always in how gently you could return to what cannot be defined at all. That's what it means to live without edges. That's what it means to move like the ocean. That's what it means to come home. Not to a form, but to the formless presence that's been waiting inside you all along.